So welcome back to DecoyNoise and another episode of Am I the Antagonist? And am I the antagonist for putting my dog's wee-wee pads on the bathroom floor because my boyfriend has bad aim and keeps missing the toilet? So in the crazy year that is 2020, I want to make sure that you're getting at least 2 breaks a day by subscribing to DecoyNoise with the notifications on so I can remind you every day at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time to just take a break, unwind, relax, watch me, the decoy, judge some strangers online because that always makes me feel better, right? So let's just get to the thread. OP writes, my boyfriend, a 30-year-old male, and I, a 28-year-old female, have been together for about a year, and when our city implemented the lockdown for the situation, he decided to quarantine with me at my apartment as I live alone and have a nicer apartment and he has several roommates. Mostly, it has been going well, and thankfully we both still have jobs. Except in the first weeks, I started noticing the bathroom floor was suddenly always wet around the toilet. The sink is across the room from the toilet, so it's unlikely to be from the sink. At first, I thought it might be water, but soon realized it was definitely pee. I asked my boyfriend about it nicely, and he apologized. He said sometimes he has bad aim. I asked him to try a little harder, and he said sure. The floor continued to be frequently splattered with pee. And a few weeks later, I confronted him about it again because I think it's pretty gross to step in his pee several times a week. And it seems like an easy thing to fix. If he misses the toilet, I think at the very least he could do is make sure to wipe it down with toilet paper or a Clorox wipe. The cleaning supplies even live in a cabinet directly above the toilet. He said sure, sorry, he would try to remember to do that. Another week passed, and while he's still doing this sometimes, I continue to step in splatters of his pee and wipe it off the floor and clean the floor several times a week. I thought about asking him just to pee in the bathtub or something instead because I don't understand how you can pee on the floor by accident so often and not notice and not clean it up. Last night I got up to use the bathroom in the middle of the night and absolutely stepped in his piss for the millionth time. I had it and didn't want to pick up a fight or ask him again since it seems clear that he can't or won't change. So I got one of my dog's wee-wee pads from when he was a puppy, he's well trained now, and cut it up a bit and taped it down to make a sort of skirt or mat around the floor near the toilet so it at least absorbs the pee. Boyfriend saw this morning and is furious with me, saying that I'm calling him a dog, comparing him to an animal, etc. Honestly, I was not thinking that at all. I was just trying to be resourceful and solve the problem myself since I don't like piss on the bathroom floor and don't like stepping in it. I didn't feel like arguing about it anymore, and putting a material specifically meant to absorb the pee around the area as he keeps on peeing on it by accident seemed like a practical solution. Am I the antagonist? So in typical DecoyNoise fashion, we're going to take this guy to Decoy Court, try to figure out who the true antagonist is. Read some top comments, go over those controversial comments, read your comments down below, then do some Decoy Deliberation and figure out who the true antagonist is, and then also what a theoretical punishment would be for said antagonist. So let's go ahead and just break this down right now. The boyfriend's furious he's being treated like a dog. I'm sorry, if you don't want to be treated like a dog, don't act like one. I can't imagine me being in that situation where I'm constantly outside rolling in bushes and climbing trees and everything and coming home with fleas and then being upset that my girlfriend replaces my shampoo with flea shampoo. Like, it's just what's gonna happen. Stop doing that. And I kind of cringe to think about what is the boyfriend's situation. Like, he lives in a different place with roommates, so what are the possibilities? He either one lives his entire life just walking through his own pee and tracking it all through the house, or 2, he has someone that's constantly cleaning up his piss like a baby. Like, what was he, 30 years old, and he still needs like his mommy to come by to clean up him like he's after his potty trips? That's ridiculous. And the thing is, okay, we miss sometimes, whatever, that's just a fact of life, but be an adult and clean up after yourself. They said the Lysol wipes or the Clorox wipes are right above it, just use it to clean it. So if anything, I just want to say that, yes, OP, she has modern solutions for modern problems that shouldn't be a problem. If anything, if I was on a trip to Mars, I would just hope that OP would be my co-pilot, because she's very resourceful, very MacGyver-like. So I'm going to go ahead and say right now, OP, you are not the antagonist. You are doing okay. It's okay to be doing that. And here's the thing is, me, myself, I rarely shame anybody for being dirty. Like, you can kind of see my place as it is. I realize I'm not dirty, I'm just messy. I leave everything around, and you could probably tell even by my speech patterns that I'm just kind of a lot, like, I'm messy. There's a lot going on in my brain all the times. Like, my the guest Jess that comes on here says she calls it her scribbles, brain scribbles, when everything's happening too fast, but I always saw it as like this beehive where there's like, my brain is like trying to pick out your favorite bee. Like, I jump from topic to topic and idea to my head when I'm like, oh, what's my favorite bee? Well, that one, oh, there, and I'm like, I can't do it. And it's like, Do I have ADHD? Maybe, but I'd rather just have that be undiagnosed for the rest of my life and just always be in a perpetual striving for normalcy my entire life. And I have no idea what the original topic was, but okay, yeah, being messy. It's okay to be messy. Just clean up after yourself. That's fine. I'm not going to judge anybody for that. But I mean, this guy's ridiculous. I've just outed myself as being not being able to keep my mind on something. But as always, if you have something other than she's not the antagonist, be sure to let me know down below, and you just take a short break and you say whatever it is, and then you earn yourself that Decoy coin, because I'm trying to reward people while the channel's still fairly small, and maybe it's going to be worth something down the road, maybe not. But let's go ahead and get to that top comment right now. So the top comment is, not the antagonist. If he pees like an animal, then it's perfectly appropriate situation. Boyfriend needs to grow up and be more considerate. This is disgusting, which is very true. And the next reply was, I'd honestly consider telling him he needs to sit down to pee at this rate. So it's kind of like at prison, yeah, you don't stand up to pee anymore. You sit down and pee when you live in Big Mama's house. It's a terrible situation, but it's almost necessary. But let's go ahead and read the next reply. So this person writes, yeah, I'm a mom of 4 boys and I make them sit down in the shared bathrooms. It's so gross and I don't get it at all. How do you not notice your pee everywhere? And I'll just tell you right now, it's indifference. I've been that disgusting guy that my first apartment where I live alone and no rules and anything. You just kind of whatever, we're doing this, and you just don't care anymore. But this guy's living in his girlfriend's apartment. They're older, so he needs to step up and be an adult. I mean, if younger guy living on his own, or 4 young boys living in a house, I get it, but no, he's an adult. He's a guest in somebody's home. He needs to clean that up right now. But let's go ahead and read that next top reply. Not the antagonist. I don't know if long-term cohabitating and or marriage are in the future for you two, but he is telling you right now how he's going to behave in the future. You should expect that if you settle. You'll be dealing with pissy bathroom floors for the rest of your lives together, which is pretty true, unless she can kind of break through to him. Maybe he only lives with 4 other disgusting men, and he's always been disgusting, and he had a situation where he had 3 brothers and just his mom, and they just said, hey, Pete, sit down. He just never had to face his problem for the disgusting thing that it naturally is, and where he's actually getting, I don't want to say videotape evidence of he's always, picked his nose, but then this is the first time that he's seen him do it in public in the background of somebody's video. So he's oh my God, I am disgusting. I never really even gave it a second thought. So maybe this will be a breakthrough moment for him. Maybe, maybe not, but let's go ahead and see the next reply. True, he is 30 and still can't manage to hit the toilet. He needs to sit down when he takes a pee if that's such an issue. As someone who used to clean a building that 1,200 men use the bathrooms daily, this is a huge problem among many of them. Every single day I had to scrub pee off the floor tiles. And if anything, at least that OP can read that and say, yes, it's disgusting, but he's not the only one that is missing it. He's just the only one that's being inconsiderate about missing it. So, I mean, let's go ahead and this is just disgusting to me at this point in time, but let's go ahead and read on. Not the antagonist. If he misses, he needs to clean it up. This is why I make my boyfriend sit. If he doesn't, there's a mop waiting for him. You tried talking to him and he kept doing it. Yeah, there's just no respect there. And the next reply is, OP's not the antagonist. She has to put pads down to make your boyfriend sit them, not make him get pee on the floor. As a male, I can't believe how hard it is for these guys to aim into a bowl or clean up an occasional accident, or I guess in this case, frequent accidents. I think in this case is just indifference. This guy doesn't give a crap about you, doesn't give a crap about what you're doing, that you have to clean up after him. He's just hey, it's always clean when I get to it, so whatever. It's terrible. We'll read one more top comment because it's all going to be the same thing. This person writes, not the antagonist. If he can't aim, he needs to sit his butt down. There's no excuse to pee everywhere when you're a grown adult. And the reply is, I personally been peeing in receptacles other than diapers for, I don't know, 31 to 32 years old, and I can tell, okay, so it's just more of the same thing right there. That's why I say top comments can oftentimes be an echo chamber, although this one is obviously it's an echo chamber that needs to be made because it's ridiculous, but hopefully we can get to controversial comments for something not only controversial, but it'll make us think and maybe see this from a different perspective, because honestly I can't. This is one of those situations where I just don't know. But let's go ahead and read the top reply. So they're requesting more information. Does he have a medical condition that causes plumbing problems downstairs, or perhaps he's a bigger guy and can't really see the initial start of where he's going, but not the antagonist? He should be sitting. I have been standing 10 years ago. Gave up standing up 10 years ago. Okay, I mean, whatever. And the next reply was, you were responsible enough to put a pad so it doesn't bother you and you won't have to complain as much. I can understand that bad aim is a problem. It's a serious problem, actually. But if you really care, you'll sit down. Having pee everywhere is nasty. Very true. The reply is, does he have a medical condition? and then someone says, yes, he suffers from what is known as dumb face, and maybe he does have a medical condition and he's very self-conscious about the situation, but that wouldn't merit the whole, like, why are you treating me like an animal, blah, blah. Like, if anything, he would just be more bashful about it, in my opinion, where he's just like, okay, cool, like, I have an issue, I'm sorry. Like, he would probably, he just seems like he's indifferent about the situation. But the next controversial reply has negative 27 points. Let's say how harsh they were. This person writes, petty, but he definitely deserved it. You're asking him to be a decent human being and clean up after himself. If he really is too lazy to clean up after himself, he should just sit his butt down and this wouldn't be an issue at all. Okay. That wasn't pretty. What's the alternative? Clean the pee up himself or just leave it on the floor? Yeah, he needs to clean it up himself. Why can't he be an adult? But the next controversial reply is, sorry, I can only send you a silver. I'm poor and that's all I had from some old awards I got. But holy heck, this is so freaking funny. I can't stop laughing because you are so awesome, not the antagonist. And that's the thing, is you can't give a reply like this where it's just like not the Instagram reply, the old Reddit reply where you just type in this period and then you get upvotes. Like, you need to contribute to the conversation somehow. He gave them silver but then got downvoted in return because they didn't contribute to the conversation at all. But we'll read one more controversial comment, which is, not the antagonist. If you actually intended it like that, let's say everyone sucks here but you didn't, so. And the one thing I would say is, let's say that OP just meant to insult the boyfriend. Like, she seems so passive that she can't sit down and put her foot down with a mop and a bucket or really, like, get on his case. Like, I'm sick and tired of walking in your pee. You need to knock it off. Like, she passively aggressively set up some pee pads around the toilet, treating him like a child. Like, let's say that she didn't mean to offend him, whatever. Like, what do we say on DecoyNoise a lot? Don't start none, won't be none. Like, he walked himself in the trap. Like, the only time we can say, you know, when you set somebody up to make a fool out of themselves is when anybody would have fallen in that trap. Any, like, you know, plain generic person that doesn't mean any harm would have found themselves as the antagonist in the situation. But no, if he just simply wasn't peeing on the floor all the time, he wouldn't have the situation. But let's go ahead and read the last controversial reply. So, LOL, it's not usually because we have bad aim, it's because sometimes it's okay. So he's just kind of being, he's just trying to justify this guy's disgustingness. No, dude, you live at home. It's not like, if this was a situation where this was permissible, they'd make the toilet like 10 times bigger because it was an issue. But somehow some people either manage to not miss or clean up after themselves. And I'm willing to say right now, this has gone long enough. I usually try to make these videos much longer, but this is just going too much in the same circle. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So, as always, if you made it this far in the video, which I'm actually very appreciative that you've sitting there and managed to watch me babble about this for 12 minutes about missing the toilet, just make sure that you subscribe down below, because not all videos will be like this. Visit DecoyNoise.com to send me hate mail or just try to make me better with some constructive feedback. But if nothing else, I promise you the next video won't be about this. Put this on autoplay and wait for the next DecoyNoise to come up next.